and on to my beautiful, colorful collection of all kinds of pens and all kinds of colors. And I want to start off with this guy because it totally made my day this week. You're going to say, why? What's so special about it? Yes, it's a special pen that came from Austria to me, and the company I had never heard of. It's a school pen. Probably this is the model, Jolly, and the company is a different one. I wrote it down because I had never heard of them. It's the company Brevier Urban und Sachs. It's called Super Inky Nature Jolly. And let's start with this. And I inked it with a cartridge because it takes cartridges. So I thought, let's just do that. Didn't want to put in the simple blue. I put in one of my cartridges, my little collection of Aurora cartridges. And this is one that I had never tried before. And if you are watching, thank you so very much. You made me so happy. I'm not going to say her name. It's actually, that was so kind because she had placed an order for yarn from me, and so we got into chatting a little bit, and I guess she watches my pen videos, and she said, oh, I think you must have this one because it's a special Austrian pen. And so she sent it to me. So absolutely generous and kind. You can see that it's a very juicy writer, so absolutely delighted. Vert Empire. It's a great color too, and it goes very well with the pen, of course. And this is a real wood back here. Last time when I was filming, I had all of these pens on maybe they were still in the box, but then I had to move them on a tray because I had inked up more than fitted into the box. Then they fitted into the box, and now we're back again to full to the brim. But I will not ink up any more pens. Next, another beauty, and which goes through ink like nobody's business. It is a Waterman Edson that I've had for many years. It was a gift from my husband a long time ago. And it's what they call a large nib, which I call a double broad nib. And it is Birmingham Pen Company, Pennsylvania Field Zone. I love this ink. Thank you, Casey. You can see that right now I'm trying to really dig into my samples and use them as much as I can. Oh, it's glorious. Yeah, beautiful pen. Next is my Opus 88 Color Orange, and it also has a broad nib. Cat hair. You do. Okay, wait for it. Open, and then let's see the bubbles. I love this. That's what I love so much about this pen. You open it up and all of a sudden, bubbles. Yay. Okay, now it's gonna write too. There you go. Come on, baby. I don't know why you want to give me trouble now. Come on. You want to show off what a good writer you are, don't you? Opus 88 with a broad nib, and this ink, it was another sample from Casey. Thank you yet again. Birmingham Pen Company. I was also trying to focus on the Birmingham Pen Company inks these days because when I fell in love with Birmingham Pen Company, I was digging through my samples and I'm like, oh my gosh, Casey has sent me so many. And so I was trying to really dig into them and try and see how I like those. America's is Oyster Bar. Salmon hors d'oeuvre. Yep. Beautiful pen. I love that it holds so much ink. I really love it. I know I will take it on trips and I won't have to worry about running out of ink. Next is my Esterbrook Estie Gold Rush, and I have two of these. I mean, not exactly the same, but I'm tempted to get that petrified. Is it Petrified Forest? They came out with a new one that is so stunning, but I feel like I don't need another one, but it's a beauty. So this I got both of these with a writer's nib, and they are, you know me, I love my broad obliques, but these are amazing writers. And I have no regrets. Going to say Estie, and this is, I believe, Pilot Iroshizuku. No, I'm wrong. Ew, Birmingham Pen Company, Jade Inferno. This one was a sample from Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. Love it. And it's a great one for this pen. This is the Esterbrook Estie Sea Glass. And in case you wonder how they look next to each other, definitely lighter, definitely no glitter. And very similar color by accident, I confess. I should have written Gold Rush. Like I said, also Writer's M, and the ink is, yep, a sample from my pen friend Peter. Thank you, Peter. Palette is by Iroshizuku. Shinryoku. These are just fantastic on paper, and I don't know, they have this special seal mechanism where you push a little bit and then you twist, and it's just no hard start problems or anything like that. Yeah. Next is my Pelikan Sylvexa. That was a gift, and I am thinking it might be empty. Is it? Oh no, I don't know why I thought that. Because it was a sample, and I don't know. This has been burping ink a few times in the past. Not sure why. Let's hope it doesn't do it now. Does it? I think it's a medium gold nib. I call it my dog pen, and this is Diamond Raider's Blood. That was a birthday sample from Goulet Pens. I love all of the Pelikan Sylvexas, and I do have another one, which is a 20. I don't know what the other one is. It doesn't give a number, but I have several. And this one I truly adore because it has a rare broad nib. And I've inked it with my favorite purple. You may remember, it's been inked with this for quite some time. And I've been re-inking it. It's Colorverse from Cali. Yeah. Truly adore this. And here comes another vintage Pelikan with a hooded nib, which is most likely a broad oblique. And I do not know what this ink is. I assume it's a Pelikan Edelstein, but I'm not sure because I inked up some pens at the Pelikan hub at the ink bar, but I didn't keep track. I think it's called, could be Jade. And it's a P1. Thinking it's a Pelikan Edelstein. Maybe. Just gonna write that down. Jade, question mark. Yeah, I love this pen. Very wet writer. And recently I just used all of my Pelikans and I thought, dang, I just love them. I just love them. And that's what brought me to purchasing that Pelikan 620 Grand Place. Here comes my little baby, which is always inked with this ink as long as I have it. You've seen it before. Pelikan M400. This is Ferris Wheel Press, Blushing Mushroom. Thank you, Des. I'm still in love with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm out, if I'm gonna get more or if I'm gonna move on. I'm not sure, but as long as I have your generous sample, I'm gonna keep refilling it. Here comes another ink that is filled with a generous sample that came to me from Germany from another pen friend. And I put it in one of my vintage Kawecos, which I love so much. Another one that I love so much. I love all these old pens. And this also never has a hard start. Not sure what the nib is. If it says, does it say? I'll write that down. This ink, let's just call it a medium oblique. That's what I did in the past. This ink never dries. It is a German ink, which I don't think you can obtain in the States, but it's gorgeous and glorious. It's called Morgenröte, which translates into dawn. This is right now also gushing, not sure why. May want to puke some ink, but we won't let it because we will close it and put it back in the box. Yeah. It has these numbers 58707. Not sure what the meaning is. I have never been able to find out anything about these old Kawecos. Okay, here comes the beautiful Aurora 88, which was a gift for me after our son was born, our oldest. I told my husband recently, you know what? I do need a pen with an engraving that celebrates the birth of our daughter. He said, oh yeah, that's right. But I don't think anything has happened in that regard. So we'll see. I think this is a broad nib. And what did I put in here? Birmingham Pen Company, California Raisin. Another sample from Casey. And I hope I thanked you, Alexandra, for the sample that you sent me. If I didn't, thank you. I love it. Okay, here, this guy, another one of the abused pens that probably had like a ton of dried up ink in it. And this is a Cartier Diabolo. I believe it's a broad nib. Yep. And this has another amazing Birmingham Pen Company sample from UKC. And it's eroded bronze. I'm not sure what I had done to this pen, if it had dried out with some waterproof ink or what, but it also needed me to give it a lot of TLC, a lot of soaking in pen cleaner and overnight leaving it in there and flushing and whatnot. And now look at it. It's amazing. It writes so wet. And what I remembered was that it was just not a good writer, but I guess I had it dried up and then it was always giving me trouble. I'm so glad it's back to good health. This is a wonderful little Montblanc. I think it's called a Montblanc 22 from Joel, and it is empty. Who would have guessed? Oh yes, now I remember. I used up the last itty bitty bit of Herbin, Jacques Herbin Vert de Gris, and never realized it was done. So, okay, here comes Platinum 3776 Chartres. Is it called Century? Yeah, it's the blue one, and mine has a gorgeous music nib, and I purchased this at the Papier Plume store in New Orleans. I absolutely fell in love with this pen and with their custom ink moss green. I don't know, I probably filled it right away with that ink, but I haven't done that anymore. I think I messed up with this one. I also did an accidental mix. Music nib, a very juicy writer, love it. And oh yes, this has Schaefer Brown in it, and I thought it had the California raisin in it. So now it's a mix between Schaefer Brown and California raisin. And I'm also just gonna call it a Doug mix. It's pretty, don't you think? Definitely beautiful. Here comes my third and last but not least new pen, which I found in a little antique store in somewhere in this small town, in Colorado. And it is a Waterman Phileas. Oh. Medium nib. Oh, check it out. I haven't touched this in a week, and starts up right away. Gave it a good cleaning. It was spilling blue forever and ever and ever. Until, as you see, it's fine with the red ink. And this is Aurora und Klingner. Pernambuc. What does that even mean? Can you tell? I'm the worst researcher. But I just buy these things for the beautiful color. Yeah. I really like it. And next is my Kaweco brass with a double broad oblique. I think it's called a brass Supra. Which I just recently saw somewhere. Double broad oblique. What did I put in here? What in the world is this? Hello? Kidu? Secretary Dearest? Casey, another one from you. Look at it. Here. And I have, as you can see, I do these things, and then when I do something out of the ordinary, I write things down. Like here, I wrote down that I emptied one of my pens because it wasn't writing well and put the ink into another pen. Or, yeah, I emptied this one. Yes. What did I mix in the Platinum 3776? Here, I wrote that down. Schaefer Brown added by accident, Birmingham Pen Company, California Raisin. And here I just, after I wrote this guy dry, I wanted to fill it again right away because this is a special to me pen, which was a gift from my brother. And this was the last Birmingham Pen Company ink sample that I had from UKC that I hadn't put into a pen. And so I decided this is it. This goes into this pen. And, oh, summer sweet. Oh, little brain fart here. Gorgeous, and you can probably, hopefully, see the sheen along the edge of this writing. I hope. Sorry about the crappy lighting. I was hoping to be able to do this in daylight, and then my husband abducted me to get breakfast burritos, and then I decided to crash with him on the sofa while we were eating, and then I was very tired and knew I wasn't going to be able to talk. Okay, this is my beautiful Montblanc that celebrates 75 years of Montblanc, and it has a tiny diamond here. Oh, whoops, off the picture, can you see? Was, of course, a gift from my husband, and a long time ago. I don't know, is this a 149? Montblanc 149, I don't know. This was a spur-of-the-moment decision to ink it up with an ink that Ramona sent me a sample just recently, because I thought, did you just see that crut on that, on the nib? Yeah. And I felt like I need an ink in a pen that celebrates the month of love, which also has our 25th wedding anniversary coming up. And so I thought, for Valentine's Day and for February, for our silver wedding anniversary, I have to ink this baby up. I usually call it the 75th anniversary pen. And the nib is an I don't know nib. Let's just call it a medium. And the ink is Robert Oster Dusky Pink. Thank you, Ramona. I think it's dusky pink and not dusty pink. Dusky pink. And I love it. And I wanted to show you, Ramona had sent me 2 samples. This was, what was it? I don't know. Why did I not write that down? Yes, because I didn't have it in a pen, but this one I put into a pen. So I didn't even write that down, but I wanted to decide, hey, which one am I going to put in a pen for my February special inking that I wanted to grant myself, and it was this one. Yeah. It was this one. Yeah. Another one which is new to me, and if you have noticed, yes, this is ink. This is dye, and this is ink. Yes, the best of both worlds. And that is another sample from Ramona. Let me get this baby over here. I always have this on my desk. And often it has the Kaweco Brass Supra here, but it always has the Lamy 2000 here that is always inked with Sailor Virginia. This is another very special pen from the Delta Pen Company. It's a limited edition. Can't read that now. Would have to use a loop. It's a number so and so many of so and so many. Oh yes, I can read. It's number 46 or so of 100, and it's a Delta Gladiator. It came in a wonderful set with a special Delta Gladiator red ink, and yes, this was one of the abused by me pens a long time ago, and so I also needed a lot of TLC. And let's do some writing with this amazing pairing, because I inked it up with Diamine Blood Orange, that another sample from Ramona, and I loved it, and I thought it was a small sample vial, and I thought for sure it was gonna fit into the cartridge converter. Oh boy, did I have an ink volcano, and I'm glad I still have some of this gorgeous color left, which I absolutely adore. Ramona, you knew that I would. Yeah, so let's do some writing. What is it? Does it say? Did I write it down? I have it written down somewhere. I don't know. Didn't write it down. Let's just call it no. Now I remember. It is an oblique nib, an OB nib. And the thing is that this pen totally has a sweet spot. And it took me a while to figure it out. For one, it needed thorough cleaning, yada-da-da-da, like I said, like what I didn't do, and now I'm doing it, and now I really got this baby to write nicely. But also it has this sweet spot, which is not so obvious. Very interesting to me. But now oh man, look at this. It's so beautiful. The ink and in this pen, this must be the Colosseum. My daughter was just in Rome. Oh my goodness. She is now living in Paris for a few months. I'm telling you, this girl is all over the place. She's been in Rome. She's been to a gazillion museums in Paris. And right now she's in Barcelona. And she will go to London and who knows where else. Okay. But she was so disappointed because she couldn't get tickets for the Colosseum. That's what reminded me. Yeah, she really wanted to go there. And here is last but not least, definitely one of my favorites because of the way it writes. I bought this pen at the Lamy flagship store in San Francisco, where I could actually try this, I want to call it an obscene nib, and I would probably not have dared to buy this had I not been able to try it. It's amazing and I love it, and I love it because it's amazing. Yes. Hello there, sweetheart. I'm sorry I haven't used you in a few days. I adore you, as you know. Please forgive me. It's a double broad oblique nib. And the ink is, as I have said, Sailor Virginia. And another ink which I love. And now in comparison, these two look quite alike, but I'm also thinking maybe the blood orange is a little bit darker because the pen has been sitting there for a few days. This guy, he doesn't care if he sits for a few days. Yep. And Ramona, you can probably tell if the blood orange is darker, is it? Or is it normal? I have to write and use the pen for a while, for a page or so. I hope you all enjoyed this wonderfully long video. I love watching currently inked videos, and I enjoy recording them. I am not someone who does these videos at the beginning of the month because I'm a spur of the moment, reckless over inking. Even though I must say I really try. I felt like I really want to stick to the box. The motto is stick to the box. So I can. The reason being that what I like to do is I like to stack my 3 boxes of pens, and then I can just carry the boxes over to the kitchen table and use whatever, and spread out 3 boxes in front of me and pick the pen that I want to use for letters or for journaling, mainly for letters. I'm a big letter writer. And I will close the box now, and I will say goodbye for now. See you soon.